What's up, everyone? A little bit of a longer format video here. This is probably the only one I post to Instagram. The rest of them are all going to go onto my YouTube, so make sure you're following my YouTube. It's really easy to find. Just type Trevor Jaffe into YouTube. They'll all pop up. I put a lot of my tutorials on there as a backup as well, so it's easier. The YouTube audience is just a little bit different. They're here for longer formats, discussions, and education versus the 15-second Instagram generation. So if you're actually watching this all the way through Instagram, kudos to you for being over 30. The rest of you just need to grow the fuck up. But anyways, the Kabuki deadlift bar is going to be no more. So initially it was the manufacturer who said he no longer wanted to manufacture, the new owners of Kabuki, since the Duffin's loan was defaulted on and they took over the company. So they don't want to manufacture the Kabuki bar anymore. The profit margins aren't there, which means that the Kabuki bar is not going to be readily available to everyone. Now, PLU has come out and said that they're not going to use it because it doesn't fit specs. So everyone seems to forget that hasn't fit specs in 4 years, but they used it anyway. So I don't know what that bullshit's about. But nonetheless, the 2.4 meters, 2.5 meters, the bar is about 1.5 inches longer for the Kabuki deadlift bar, which made it a little bit easier to break from the floor. This is an interesting problem to have here, that the Kabuki is not going to manufacture them anymore, and PLU is going to phase them out. They're not going to be necessary because, one, meat directors have to buy all new barbells if they don't have Texas barbells, and or service barbells, those other companies, ILUS and so forth. But they're going to have to buy new deadlift bars for their competition, so they have to spend money. People who set records love the Kabuki bar, won't have that access to them anymore and the easier floor break, so it's going to be a little bit less on some people's total if they monopolize and utilize the Kabuki deadlift bar that they can't in the same way in the Texas bar. There's a lot of pros though. The Kabuki bar is really, really whippy, and a lot of people get called for up-down when it's not really up-down, it's just an oscillating bar whip. And when you have someone who only pulls 325 in the chair, who's never had bar whip to deal with, they don't know the difference between bar whip and up-down motion. There's a distinct difference. A wobbling bar is not the same as up-down motion during the pull. If you can't tell the difference, you don't belong in the judge's chair. That's a whole nother rant, but that's another story. So they're not going to make the bar anymore. They're going to phase it out. Now, however, that doesn't mean you won't have access to a Kabuki bar at certain meets. This is just for PLU. I don't know if USPA is going to follow suit. They haven't announced, but Jordan Wong in his showcase meets still plans to use the Kabuki bar because a lot of the higher level lifters enjoy it. So if you're a higher level lifter and you want to use a Kabuki bar, get ready to come to Florida, because Jordan's not only going to continue to use the Kabuki bar in his meets, he's going to buy more, so he has a plethora of them, both for gym, Showcase Strength and Fitness, and for his meets put on by Showcase events and performance. So you'll be able to still use Kabuki bar. I know there's going to be other meet directors in UPA and RPS and APF who also like to use the Kabuki bar, or IPA now, have a couple of their meets that use Kabuki bar. So the best advice I can give you is, one, don't rely on one piece of equipment. Train with the stiff bar sometimes, train with the Texas bar, train with the crappy road deadlift bar. It's terrible. Getting used to being good and proficient at lifting, you should be able to adapt to any equipment the meet director uses. You always have a say what the meet director is going to use. You want to be proficient with all. So get proficient with the Texas bar, get proficient with the road bar, get proficient with the service bar if you can find it. But more importantly, it's just a matter of fixing your deadlift and not relying on the easier bar. I lift about 10 pounds more in a Kabuki than I do in a Texas. That's a very, very close 99.9% differential. If you're someone who lifts 40 or 50 pounds more on a Kabuki, then you need to just learn how to deadlift and not take advantage of that bar flex like that. But it's not going to be anymore. Grow, get used to it, work on other things, spend some time with a stiff bar. But if you still want to use a Kabuki bar, you're going to find meet directors who still use it, because you're going to find lifters who still want to use it, myself included. I freaking love the way it breaks the floor. I hate what it does to my skin, but I love what the bar does to the floor. I'm a bleeder anyway, so it is just what it is. But if you enjoy these kind of strength conversations and topics and things I'm going to discuss, probably likely on a weekly basis, because we all know me, I can't shut up. If you don't know me, you'll learn that I can't shut up. So ADHD. But nonetheless, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, all that YouTube jazz for the algorithm gods, because if I don't say it, they're never going to show my videos to anybody.